Hey guys, I'm Bob.
And I'm Katie.
Mike.
Spencer.
And this is the Board Game Rundown, and today we're going to review Illiterati by Gap Closer Games. In this game, you're going to be working together to try to build and bind books before the Illiterati can burn them all down. You're going to be drawing tiles out of this bag, adding them to your little personal collection, and you also have a library, which is like a communal area. And you're going to be just kind of pushing words in or letters in and building words together and putting them in front of you and trying to meet whatever your prereqs on your book card is. Once everybody is done with their first book, then they're going to move on to their second book, which is the blue one, a little bit more difficult. Once everybody finishes their blue book, then you're going to do either a blue or red, depending on what final chapter you're looking for, and work together. And everybody has to complete that one at the same times. But every round, the Illiterati is going to be coming out and breaking up your words, burning your letters, and trying to stop you from binding these books together. And yeah, that's kind of the basic rundown.
Got to do it quickly, though. Got a timer,
minutes.
3 whole minutes to do all that.
Yeah.
So you're rushing around and moving
Kinda
tiles around.
Adds a little bit of a panic to the game. Yeah, for sure. But we're just going to kind of go around and give you our thoughts on how we feel about the game, and go from there. So. Let's start with our guest.
Okay. I'm from the Boardgame Mechanics. I'm Katie. I love words. So I like games about words because I get to make words. And this actually works for me. I'm terrible at Scrabble because I just want to make the most fun words out of all the letters. And I'm like, oh, word scores? That matters. So this lets you kind of think in, I think, those creative realms where you can say, oh, holidays, events, or colors. Like, what is that? What are some brands? And of course, you forget every brand you've ever known in your life.
As soon as that timer starts,
I'm like, I don't know. What am I with?
What are movies?
This? Brands, movies.
have I seen any?
Yeah. Do I know those? Yeah. But I like that. Like, at the end, we were talking about holidays, events. I'm like, oh, I have a lot of letters for cornucopia. That would be really fun. And so there's just letters flying everywhere. And so that, I think that really is engaging for me, is that you can be a little more creative with this game as opposed to some other word games that are really rigid and you're just like trying to shoot for these max bonuses and things. And so as a word person, I like this game a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Spencer,
Sure.
You wanted to talk?
Oh, I also am a word person. Obviously, I love words. To go off of what you were saying, it's not like it says it has to be these specific words. So cornucopia is not a Christmas thing. If I put Saturnalia down, you guys would probably say, yeah, that's good. Or if I put frost down, you're like, close enough. It's the agreement of everyone who's playing. And so I really like that. And you can try to like make really cool words that way.
And try to justify it to everybody.
Exactly.
Like,
Try to
okay, I can see
justify
that.
it.
Well, it's it's cooperative. It kind of like everybody's like on your side anyway. So.
Yes, yeah.
And obviously, I love words. The first time we played this was kicking our butts.
It was.
It was
like
so
7 and
hard.
up. What?
Because when the Illiterati come out and they break up your game, like here, if I can get it, it says each player must break up 2 of their words and create 1 new word using those letters. Any excess letters are discarded. Now, that's bad enough, but if there was another one that this particular character had, so there's like 5 characters, you have to do both of them. If a third one comes out, you'll be doing all 3 of them.
Yes.
And so those punishments pile up. And when we did it, the first 4 were one person. It was so bad.
I was just worried that maybe you were playing with some, lower level players. Like, throw Mike and I in here. And, like, obviously
we
had
nailed
no
it,
problem.
yeah. It's
We
funny.
did win.
Yeah, well, that's true. We won. I think it was the first time that we've actually like won one. And normally we get to the end, we're like, okay, we can't do this.
I was like, this is kind of easy.
You got to have the pro.
Time's up.
You got to have the pro on your side because Dan wasn't cutting it. I don't know.
I mean, there's obviously an upgrade.
Obviously an upgrade.
There were a few problems with the game. This is a very minor one. The timer, last night we were playing with it, it would stick and not go down, and we'd have to keep flicking. So we just ended up using our phones.
Right.
So really, these things should now say,
I'll time it.
open up your smartphone, because you have one.
Right.
Right.
I've noticed that on a lot of like games recently that have sand timers. Like, I don't know if it's just humidity or whatnot, but like, they just don't work very well anymore. so it's unfortunate.
It is
They don't make them like they used
They sure
to.
don't, Mike.
Back in the Stone Age when all we had was the
In my day.
But I think that having, even on the phone, when you hear, like, being able to hear the sound helps
the
you. Because sometimes I forget to look
Yeah.
up, and I don't
Oh,
want to
shoot,
be
we're out of time.
cheating, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think it's helpful.
That's very true. Also, this game does suffer a little bit from that whole alpha gamer thing that happens with cooperative gamers or cooperative games, because you put all these things in the middle, and if you got one person who's like really good with words, just start putting words together, and you're like, okay. And he pushes it in front of you, like, okay.
You just tell me what words I made. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So just make certain that you either don't do that if you're that kind of person,
Right.
or stop them if you see someone doing that.
There is actually rules in the book. They say if you have your letters in front of you, nobody's
can't
allowed to
take
come and
them.
take it. They
Right,
can only
right.
take from the pool in the middle. So if you want help, you can push your letters up
Yes.
and get some help. But
Yes.
if you just want to be greedy and be like, no, they're mine. Then
Yeah.
you can do that.
That is a good point. And
Although when there's like 10 seconds left, you're like, okay, I can't do anything with these. And there's like,
Help!
panic, and then you got to try and do
Yeah.
them real quick.
I also really like that at a certain point, so anything that's not in a word gets put up in this pile. At the end,
The library.
you only have so many letters that you can have in the library before you get punished. And it depends on how many players, I believe.
It depends on it comes with one of these cards, and it tells you like a letter distribution, and then also has your difficulty level. So number of players, and then your difficulty level, how many letters you're allowed in your library. So it's
Okay.
all difficulty related.
So that means sometimes you have something in front of you, and you're like, well, brands. I can't think of brands. You can just start making words to try to prevent these
The
things
attack-
from
yeah.
piling up and limit how much attack you're getting. So, that gives you the advantage of, well, I know these words, and I can think of these words.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
That's one of the things. So if you do go over your library limit, which is 3 for a basic one, then it gets more difficult from there. You have to burn some of them, and if you fail 4 times, then you lose the game. That's
Yep.
one of the ways you
Yep.
lose.
I think we only burned one, but it was.
The-
I think in
this-
the next one it was.
Today we didn't burn
No,
any.
we didn't
but
burn
first,
any.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday we burned one. Today
Yeah.
we didn't burn any. We did a really good job. But this can definitely be a difficult game or not. It does say 7 and up.
Right. Well, and the timer helps, and it does say if you're playing with younger people, like 7, just to get rid of the
Yeah.
timer.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and
good
so in
idea.
that way you're just trying to use the letters, and it helps them spell and think creatively.
Absolutely, and it helps you spell because
helps spell.
there's no Z in Wiseman.
It depends how you spell it. He's a gangster. People didn't think there was a G in Jizza either, but you know what? There is.
Also, one more thing. When you have one in front of you, and maybe it just says novel titles, you can make things in your personal table that are proper nouns or acronyms or
Right.
things like that.
Yeah, if it has
as
to do with
long
your book.
Yeah, you can break all the rules as long as it has to do with whatever it is your goal is.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that
Oh, an
was cool.
acronym. Like, how are you
Yeah.
supposed to do a tech company without acronyms?
AT&T.
Like, yeah, everything's an
Oh my
acronym these
gosh,
days.
yeah.
So yeah, you can break the rules if it applies to your specific book.
Yep.
Yeah. Mike.
This timer did come out right around 3 minutes this time. I was looking
good,
at
good,
the
good.
recording
Oh,
timer
nice.
behind the camera. I really like word games. Always have. Grow up playing lots of categories,
yeah.
taboo. And so I've always been a big fan of word games. And this one is good. The con for me is I don't love timed games. I
Okay.
don't always like... hey, I got to do things as fast as I can because I tend to not. I just don't process things as fast
gotta
as
play
some
Bongo
people.
more.
But never played it.
Oh.
But by this being cooperative, I think that helps with the people that maybe don't come up with ideas as quick. You feel
Right.
like, hey, maybe I took longer and everybody's whipping these tiles around, but I took my time and came up with cornucopia or something similar. So yeah, not me. I was saying if I was cool enough to come up with that, I would brag about it.
Right.
But
I am.
no, alpha gaming can be an issue. Like Spencer was over here and leaning over the table and doing stuff,
yeah.
and
He's
I
a
don't
word
think
guy.
he realized like I couldn't see through his arms, so I was doing
I'm
this
sorry.
half the game, and I think it was a legitimate time to bring up that complaint. Like I'm watching Spencer do stuff and I can't do anything
Sure.
for parts of the speed round. And I didn't say anything because I wanted it to be part of my review. So.
I'm like trying to
But-
slide tiles.
Now this is also a weird table. If I was
Yes,
sitting
that
on the
is.
other
Around,
side,
yeah.
it would
It
have
would've
been
been
an
easier.
issue.
And I was
So-
only trying to do the ones in here, so
Right.
I'm not
He
trying to
wasn't
touch anyone
moving
else's.
mine.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Nothing
And
like
I would
that.
form a word and just leave it up there and let someone take it if they needed it.
But I think making this co-op helps with the speed element I don't always like because when I play a game like Pit, I have no chance. I don't. It's not fun to me.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's just watching other people process faster than me, and I'd rather spectate that than play it. So anyway, pros and cons for me. I enjoyed it though. I'd play it again.
Okay. A couple things I would like to point out is so it comes with these nice bags. They're fantastic, big, beautiful velvet bags. One's the draw, the other one becomes a discard. One runs out, you switch to the other.
Is this deluxe?
It does say, I believe it was deluxe. Deluxe edition on the box.
Because these are wood.
Right. Yeah, and they are
Yeah,
wood.
the tiles
So
are
it's
nice.
not like it was a Kickstarter exclusive. I don't think. I think deluxe version will still be available in the store.
And, like
Okay.
the box,
The box slides out,
It's like
yeah, which is
looks
super
like a-
cool.
There's cool knobs on
And-
the end of the SAM timer.
I think
Yes.
that, yeah. Well, but that kind of makes it a little
Yeah,
unstable.
wobbly.
And the
which is
red
unfortunate
sand.
Check it again.
Yeah. One thing I do want to point out, and I believe this needs to start to become standard, right? So, Mike, please hand me the insert.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
nice-
So it
that's
came
right.
with wonderful
It's a nice
sleeves. The
insert.
well was plenty deep to get the sleeves, everything in there. The hole goes all the way down so that your finger can pull the sleeves out. And then you have this.
Ah, so smart.
It's just a little piece of plastic with a finger hole. It snaps right into the well where the cards go. It holds them all down. So when you do stand this up on the end to have a little like book preview like side on the edge or whatever, it keeps all the cards from falling all over the place.
Great.
Awesome. Yeah, that needs to be standard. Anytime you've got any kind of like an insert with stuff in it, there needs to be something to hold that stuff in there because it's not going to stay in there on its own.
Hey, you don't need to go to Game Trays.
Yeah, you don't have to go get it. Yeah,
Right.
this was not game tray. This is just a little piece of plastic, but it's just this maybe 2 cents worth of plastic. Saves headaches, and it's just a brilliant addition to the insert. As simple
What
as
makes
that
the
is.
insert actually work? Because half
Yeah.
the time we'll get games and we just like chuck the insert and baggy everything.
Right, because otherwise it's
going
going to be everywhere anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
why
Yeah,
not?
that keeps everything in its spot. And it's
I
super
was
nice.
going to add to that. I have a deluxe version of a gap closer game that is Rival Restaurants, and it also has a fantastic insert.
Awesome, yeah. So whoever their insert guy is, pay him more.
Kudos.
Yeah. Yeah, pay them because they're doing a great job over there for you. Because, yeah.
I also really like the art.
Yeah, the art's very
very
cheeky.
visual. Like it's even this
fun.
pretty books and
I would say this is the exact same artist that did Rival Restaurants as
It is.
well.
Oh, and then something else to mention then
pretty.
too. If you do have rival restaurants, the game came with a figure and a card to play the main guy on the box in the rival restaurants game.
I look forward to playing with
Yeah.
that promo.
I will be taking that because I have that guy.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Interesting.
The rule book.
It's pretty straightforward. Now, there's a couple of
Simple.
things with the timing that
some
I would like. Yeah,
clarifications.
clarifications that would be good because like there's cards like since they do all trigger and one says okay you have to break a word up and then it says okay I'll take 2 of your words and break them up to form another one. Okay, well can I use the one that was already broken up or do I now only have one word? Like so yeah, some of that clarification would be nice. But since it's supposed to be kind of like family friendly or not, we were just doing it the most easiest interpretation that we could
Right.
and just went with that.
It also says it has a solo mode where you play it on your own. You get 10 letters instead of 7.
Yep.
Interesting. And the junior mode you mentioned, librarian versus librarian PvP mode.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. Yeah, there's a
Ooh.
bunch of different modes and stuff you could do though. So
Art by
phase?
Aubrey Young. I like your art style quite a bit.
yeah.
I do like it. It's a little steampunkish, but still almost like chibi.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Chibi
great
steampunk,
mix.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
I like
okay.
how they're like breaking up the letters.
Yeah, the Illiterati. They're like, no, you will not learn to read. That's okay. I won't learn to spell.
I was like, are you part of the literate? Was this Hidden Trader and we didn't know it?
I am Illiterati. I'll show you my tattoo, but then I'd have to kill you.
Lonely, but no, only one L.
Aw,
Wealthy, no
it's a
L.
lonely owl.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead now and give this a review.
Reading.
Rating.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Spencer,
Yeah.
how do we do our ratings?
Well, we give our ratings something between 1 and 10. We do 0.5s. Yeah, he's going to try to mimic me, but I'm going to do it differently than Dan because Dan's always really obvious. Once we all give it our own review, we're going to add them up, average them up, and that's what the BGG's review is going to be in general for whatever websites you're checking out.
Sure. Okay. Well, let's go in the same order then that we were talking about our thoughts.
Sure.
Oh, jeez.
No pressure.
I know.
Set the bar.
So, like, our channel does this thing called wrenches because we're Boardgame Mechanics. I don't know. My husband does all the reviews. I'm just like, good job. I liked it. I'll say 7.5.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
many
it's
wrenches does that?
How many wrenches is that? How many?
3.14. I have
How
no
many,
idea.
How many
Nice.
Stanley
High
Nichols can you
wrenches.
get
I
for
know.
that?
Like, I have no idea the wrench scale.
Okay.
I don't know the wrench scale. He's going to be so mad when he sees this.
How many wrenches is a point?
But you said a 7.5. Right?
Yeah, that's a
Conversion
7.5.
ratio.
All right, that's what,
I have
that's
no
what we'll put
clue.
into our BGR
What's the
machine
wrenches to score ratio?
here. Spencer.
Is there inflation?
Probably.
Probably.
I'm going to give it an 8.5. I very
wow.
much like word games.
All right. Mike.
I like word games, but there's still a lot more that I prefer to this one because of the timing thing and the chaos, which I like chaos, but I don't think this handles chaotic gaming as good as other games. It's a 7 for me.
Was I supposed to explain my rating? I just
No,
realized.
No, you did great.
Your final thoughts, your
7.5 figured
explanation.
out.
You liked it then.
Yep.
Did.
And actually, you gave it the right score because I also I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think it's a fun little word game. It's relatively cheap. You can play with a bunch of people with a low rules overhead. Yeah, I think it's good.
So,
And I think
what
Bob
is
did
that
his
average?
math wrong because there we go.
7.6.
Calculating.
Yeah.
So I was pretty darn close. We were pretty.
That's
darn
right.
close. Yeah. So without going over.
You're on the price is right.
Prices. Yeah, what she said.
Yeah. So 7.6. That's a pretty good score.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to thank you. If you've stuck around this far, please make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you'd like to see more of this content. We also do have a Patreon, so if you are down for that, we would much appreciate that as well. Otherwise,
Check
comment.
out the board game mechanics.
Check out the Boardgame Mechanics.
Yeah.
They're pretty okay.
We're pretty okay.
Yeah.
And in case you didn't mention it, Bob, you backed this, right?
I did.
So this was not supplied. This is Bob's personal
Yep, I
collection.
kickstarted it. Spencer had mentioned it was on Kickstarter. I started it. Thought it looked fun. We like cooperative games, word games.
Yep.
So yeah, I picked it up.
Yep, I would have backed it, but at the time I didn't have money.
Yep, no, it's fine. I don't have kids, so. For the board game rundown, I've been Bob.
I'm Katie, but not for the board game rundown.
Mike.
Spencer.
We'll see you next time.